content based on their students' need. As you already know, students learn. Every student learn
Girl.
in different ways and different styles.
Pojok.
For example,
Kau tengok apa? Kau tengok apa?
auditory learning, kinesthetic,
Kau tengok
and
telefon ni.
visual. What is this differentiated instruction
Kau
important
sama
in
dia.
science learning? Because there are a lot of scientific concepts and ideas.
Kau tu kata
There
dia.
are many
Tak sempat
students
lihat.
that
Suara.
can understand science concept easily, but there are also some students that may need more additional support. Science classroom needs an inclusive strategies because students in science classes always include students with different ability, with different confidence level, and their learning preference also different. So inclusive learning will help every student to participate in learning. The purpose of this instructional plan is to help every primary year 5 students to help them understand the topic of the water cycle better through activities that suit their learning needs. Moving forward to the teaching context, so we pick primary level 5, and the subject is science with the topic of the water cycle. For the classroom profile, the number of our students is 30 students.
Stresnya.
Ability level high, average and low achievement. There are 2 students with slow reading skill, 1 student with low confidence level, and there are many different cultural backgrounds. There are also some students who prefer hands-on activities.
Okay, next move to my part is differentiation in content. Firstly, in differentiation in content is adapting learning materials, information, and teaching sounds according to the level of ability and needs of students in the classroom. Secondly is providing multi-play ways for students to access learning content. This is because important modern classroom with students with different academic, cultural, and social backgrounds. Next, we go to 2.1 differentiation based on readiness level. Students have different levels of knowledge and readiness. They have 3 groups. Firstly is basic. In the basic is have a short note, clear diagrams, simple language, emphasis on key terms. Next, move to the moderate. Learning follows standard textbook, understanding the full process of the water cycle. And lastly, for 2.1 is evidence, additional material on environmental issues. They have climate change, rainfall patterns, droughts, to encouraging higher order improvement. is clear after right evaporation and clouds from before right to condensation and lastly is multimedia and real life example and understanding science concept. 2.3 is simplify and extend learning materials. 2.3 is provide a structured notes fill in the blank for students who need additionally support. Secondly is extended readings for high achievement. Explore environmental issues that affect the water cycle. Next is ensure all students understand the concept of the water cycle according to their ability, learning speed, and readiness. And the lastly is uses relevant materials, visual support, and real-world examples to drive inclusive and repeatable science learning.
Okay, next, differentiation in process. This differentiation in process refer to how teacher adapt their teaching methods and learning activities to ensure all students understand the lesson effectively, and this also providing multiple learning pathways so no student is left behind. We using 4 strategies, and first one is whole class activity. We start with a short video to capture students' interest. After that, we use a water cycle diagrams to explain the concepts clearly, because using visual aids like diagrams and charts helps students understand complex scientific processes more easily. Second strategy is flexible grouping. First, the class will be organized. First, we will organize the student into mixed ability groups, and then we encourage them to do a peer study and collaboration. This because students often understand concepts better when they explain with their peers. Our third strategy is activity station. We divide into 4 learning sessions. First, students will draw and label the water cycles, and then they do a mini experiments and evaporation. They also do a vocabulary matching activity and answering higher order question. The last strategy is addressing learning styles. These activities support different learning styles. For visual learner, they benefit from videos, diagrams, and charts. For auditory learner, they learn through teacher explanation and discussion better. And for while kinesthetic learner, they are engaged more through hands-on experiments and movement.
Okay, moving to the next part, which is differentiation in product. So basically, differentiation in product is about explaining how the students will get up to the learning. As we know, every student has different learning style. So differentiation in product allows students to demonstrate their understanding in different ways, which means each student has different learning style, they can put some method of themselves. For example, like my member said that different learning styles such as peers and peers to peers, which is their friends can explain the learning to the other friends. Next is students have different ability, interest, and confidence level. Like I said, different students has different ability, so not student has some ability. For example, maybe student A is confident um, with their with their confidence level is very high when they're presenting something. It will be more confident rather than the other students. And then giving choices to help students express what they have learned more effectively, which means every student has different meaning of their learning style, which is students A understand about topic 1, the other students does not understand the topic 1. Meanwhile, the student B can explain the other topic to the other students. Next, in this lesson, students can choose different paths to explain the water cycle. Okay, moving to the next part is students' production option. Like I said, different students has different ability, which is a student can choose one task to show their understanding, which is option 1, draw and level a water cycle diagram, which in the water cycle diagram they include evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection. The other option is create a mini poster. Like my member said that some students has different learning ability. For example, visual learner. So option 2 is suitable for them because it uses pictures, keyword, and a short explanation to make them more understand about the topic. And the option 3 is giving an oral presentation, which is present and explain the water cycle to the class or group. Like I said, different students has different confidence level. So if the other student is more to auditory learners, they might more likely to choose the option 3 because they feel confident to talk to the class. And the last option is write a short paragraph with explanation. This is for students who likely to write everything in their notes to make their self more understand. And the next part is assessment. Okay, so as a teachers, we need to grade the students with the accuracy and creativity, clarity of explanation, and extra challenge. For accuracy is if the students has a correct explanation of the water cycle stage. Creativity is the students creative in creating their notes or the activity. And the third one is clarity of explanation. Is the students easy to understand and well organized about the topic? And last but not least is extra challenge. Is the students manage to explain about how pollution can affect the water cycle?
Alright, we move on to the next part, which is learning diversity, justification, and reflection. So first of all, why do we need to know about learning diversity? So as we all know that as a teacher, we must know the difference between our students and so we must know the difference between our students because they have different abilities and they come from a different background. Alright, so the first one is how do we address the learner diversity? So this lesson it supports different types of learners in classroom. The first one is cognitive abilities, which is their task help students with different ability levels to understand the water cycle based on their readiness. The second one is learning pace, which is flexible timing for students who need more time, especially those with slower reading skills. The third one, socio-economic background, which is simple and low-cost materials are used so all students can participate. And the fourth one is gender and cultural inclusiveness, which is real-life examples such as rain, clouds, and puddles drawing make the lesson relatable to students from the different background. And the last one is confidence and motivation, which is choice-based tasks allow students to express their understanding in ways that suit their strengths. So part 2, which is justification of instructional decision. which is the first one is differentiated instruction. It helps to ensure all the students, so all the students can access the lesson. And the second one is the flexible grouping, encourage peer learning and collaboration. And the third one is providing choices, and by providing choices, it can increase the student motivation and engagement. So the fourth one is tiered activities, which is it supports different readiness of the student level, readiness levels of the student. And the last one is an inclusive approach. It promotes equity in science learning. So reflection on this implementation is there is some challenge that may arise during the implementation of this lesson. So the first one is challenges, which is managing time during multiple times, preparing different materials for each group, and managing students' movement during session activities. So the solution is give clear instruction and use a timer, prepare material before the lesson, assign a group leader for each group, and use a simple and easily available materials. So the conclusion of our assignment is, in conclusion, these instructional plans, it shows that how the differentiated instruction can help in supporting the different type of learners in a year 5 science classroom. And by adjusting the content, learning activities, and ways students shows their understanding, students with different abilities and learning styles, they can take part in the lesson more effectively. Strategies such as flexible grouping, peer class, and giving student choices help to make the lesson more engaging and meaningful. So overall, this approach helps create a more inclusive classroom where every student has the opportunity to understand the water cycle and participate in the learning process. That's all.
How can teachers reflection after a lesson improve the effectiveness of shared Bagaimanakah refleksi guru selepas pengajaran dapat meningkatkan keberpihakan pembelajaran emotional instruction pada masa akan datang? 1 minute.
Also, how the teacher can improve using reflection is the teacher can improve their lessons after the class. For example, after the session happened, the teacher can make a level based on their students' ability. For example, some of their students might have, or the teacher can detect how the students has a different learning ability. For example, some students might more to auditory